good, family? It's Braylo. I'm back with another one. So look, man, I got a video on my channel that everybody seemed to love, which is how to work 80 hours a week without getting tired. And y'all showed me a lot of positivity for that video. So I ain't gonna lie, I had to come back with the part two, and this time I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna talk about today how to work a 12-hour shift, because sometimes you gotta crawl before you walk. So how you gonna work 80 hours if you can't even work 12, right? And some of you just might be getting into a job where you have to work 12 hours. So I feel like, since I've been working 12-hour shifts for the last, I say like the last 4 years of my life, I've been working 12-hour shifts or more. I got a lot of experience doing this at a young age as well. So it don't matter whether you're young or old, this is my advice to you. Sleep is gonna be your best friend, but obviously we know a lot of people can't always get sleep. That's probably why you're watching this video. So if you're the type of person, your life is set up to where you have responsibilities outside of work that you got to take care of, and you might not always be able to get your full sleep like you need for work, then this is what you're going to have to do. When you at work, you need to find ways to sleep, okay? Like me, I always keep one of these with me, a neck pillow that's comfortable, because especially as a truck driver, you never know when you're going to get sleepy. I'm going to be honest with you. At the start of my shift today, the sun was still out. It was about 5 in the evening. I literally got sleepy after driving for like 30 minutes. And I've been driving trucks for like 3 years now. So I should be used to this. But 30 minutes in, I was already sleepy. So guess what? I pulled over, threw this around my neck, took a 15-minute nap, and I'm good. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to take a longer nap, but you gotta make way for you to get your rest in. And sometimes you just gotta do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Manage your time wisely. Don't always stay up on your phone scrolling. Get your rest. Number two, oh my gosh. My second piece of advice is, if you're gonna work 12 hours, you might as well go all the way with it and save your money. All right, because if you work 12 hours, you're making a big sacrifice. You literally working your whole life away when you work 12 hours. Because when you get off work, you ain't finna do nothing but go straight to sleep, bro. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You don't got time to be doing other stuff. So if you're making such a big sacrifice, then you need to make sure it's worth it. So save your bread, so that way you don't got to keep working 12 hours and you can transition into doing something else, like go to school and, get a trade, get a degree or something like that. You know what I mean? Don't always work 12 hours or slave for nobody else. That's why I started this YouTube channel. Because my dream is that I want to do content part-time or full-time. I want to make money outside of just my job. And this is the stepping stone to that. So use your resources as well. You got a phone, you got a camera, you got internet. Man, take advantage of that, because you never know when your blessings could get took from you. And the way I like to think about it, bro, God bless you with so much. You probably be praying to him, or sometime when things go wrong in your life, you be thinking like, dang, why I wasn't born rich, or why I'm not more fortunate in life, or why I wasn't born into a better situation financially so that I could do more with my life and I have to struggle so much. But if you think about it, you're not really using fully using the time you got and the tools you got. Because like I said, if you got time, internet, and a phone, and you're not using it to try to make some type of money, then you missing out. And God probably looking at that like, you asking me for more, but you're not really fully using what I gave you already. So why would I bless you with more if you're not using what I already gave you? You can't even manage the little things, so you surely can't manage the big blessings. You know what I mean? So use what you got. That's my I think this is my second tip, right? Second or third. Yeah, that's my second tip, which kind of would lead me into my third point, right? Which is always going to be the people that you associate with, right? Me personally, I like to associate myself with good people and people who gonna encourage me. And I'll give you an example, right? I didn't always have such a drive to be successful, right? But when I started working in my warehouse and doing 12 hours, I was surrounded by other grown men for the first time in my life who were dedicating their lives to making something out of themselves. And being around that environment instilled something in my mind that I still took with me to this day, which is I can accomplish more than I thought I could. And I can push myself further and harder than I thought I can. And because of that, I can accomplish way more. Like most people, I'm gonna be honest, most people don't even make $50,000 a year. I make 90 to 100,000, all because I started off at that warehouse and I got my mindset right by being around those people who are also willing to put in that hard work in the Louisiana heat, sweating for 12 plus hours, slaving in that warehouse. But if I didn't start there, where it was super hard for me, and I didn't get through that, I probably wouldn't even got to this point with my CDL making so much. And it's still a long ways that I can go with this. You know what I mean? This is just the beginning when it comes to CDL, but that's a whole nother video for real. So really, I ain't gonna yap too much, but look, all I'm trying to tell you is when you working 12 hours, because I already told you that you need your rest. Once you got your rest, you can really take this a long way, bro. Working 12 hours might not be the most ideal. I'm telling you, it's not the most ideal way to make it in life, but it is the quickest way for you to make a good amount of bread that you can set to the side and do something else with that can make you more bread, and to get your mind right and to become a hustler. Especially as a man, ain't nothing gonna be handed to you easily in this life. So working 12 hours will teach you the discipline. It'll give you that structure that you need to be successful on your own. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna hate on none of the warehouse workers. Hey, just because I got my CDL and I expanded, I still mess with the warehouse workers, the 12-hour workers, the blue collar workers that ain't making as much, or that's slaving a little bit harder than I am, because I used to do it. You know what I mean? Even with my CDL, I done slaved real hard. It took a long time for me to get where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Life is pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? The job I do is easy as freak. I don't bust my behind. I don't even sweat for real at work. And I still make a lot. So it's a blessing, bro. But it all started somewhere, which is that 12-hour shift. So if you in that 12-hour grind mode right now, hey, you know what I'm saying? We all had to go through it. You know what I'm saying? Drop a comment below. Make sure you support the other 12-hour workers, because this ain't easy. But it sure is worth it and it's doable. So without further ado, I ain't got too much else to say. I appreciate y'all, and we gone.